Welcome ESL to week 4 in the Next Gen series. And we are at our first road course of the season. As last week's winner, Doug Britton, is on the track. Will we have a repeat winner or a new winner to join the drivers that are already in the playoffs? Currently, your drivers that are locked in is Andrew Green, Doug Britton, and Aaron Kozak. As Britton is getting ready to do his first lap around. As you can see, it is pretty cloudy here at the Glen. Partly cloudy. The track is at 104 degrees. As he's nice and smooth through that chicane. As he goes around turn 5. Goes around the last turn. What will be his lap time? And it's Kyle Storm on top of the leaderboard for right now. Evan Ethel second, Aaron Kozak third. Will that time hold? 1 minute 11 seconds, 0.566. As he goes around these last 2 turns. Was his first lap fast enough to win the pole at the Glen? And it was not. But Lotus Lee's on the pole at the Glen. Very fast time. Trunnion in second. Aaron Kozak third. Amelia LaFrance fourth. Justin Veaside fifth. Juan Fangio sixth. William Thompson, good qualifying run, seventh. Bill Cherry eighth. Stefan Forge ninth. And rounding out your top 10, the 81, Kyle Storm. Great qualifying run for Lee. You know, Lee has had his struggles since he's won a championship the season before. So he is trying to put it together this season and get back into the playoffs. We will see how this plays out. I'll be back in a few minutes for the start of the race. And we are back and getting ready to get week 4 underway. Lotus Lee and Trunnion are in the front row. Aaron Kozak, Amelia LaFrance second row. Justin Reeside, Juan Fangio in that third row. The format of this race, it is different from prior seasons. Once we hit the end of stage 1, which is lap 18, the caution flag will not come out. We're just going to run straight through. But once we hit lap 18, whoever's in the top 10 are going to get the stage points. We're going to do this like in real life NASCAR. I try to keep some of the rules as close as real life as possible if it permits. So on road courses, the caution will not be thrown at the end of the stage. You'll still get stage points if you are in the top 10. This should be a fun one. It's always pretty crazy here at the Glen. You're looking at about maybe 30 laps or so on fuel, give or take. So pit strategy always plays a factor on these road courses, especially in NASCAR. We get ready. Green flag waves and we are underway. Lotus Lee with a good jump as we go into turn 1. Aaron Kozak, the 47, gets wide. He loses a few positions. He falls back in line, but he lost 3 positions there at the start of this race. Now, LaFrance trying to battle reach side. And this is for third place. Saw Juan Fangio take a dive in there. Seems like everyone made it through okay. Everyone trying to battle for position. There's Dougie Zoom and Ani. Ani currently in 18th. So Merle McGuire in 22nd. Not the start he wants to this race, so he's going to have to work his way through the field. Easy in 26. Evan Ethel in 25th. As we go back to your leader, Lotus Lee. He has created a little distance on the 99. That 99 is looking for his second win of the season. There's LaFrance in third, Justin Reeside fourth. LaFrance has the fastest lap in this race, but now it's Kyle Storm. He is currently running in 15th. He lost a ton of positions on the start of the race. He lost 5. He's going to have to try to make that ground back up. William Thompson running in 6th. You see Trunnion ahead of him get loose going around turn 5. Juan Fangio in 8th. Ahead of him is Stefan Forge. He is in 7th. Now it's Aaron Kozak with the fastest lap in the race. And it seems like he's gaining a little bit of ground on the 125. We will see who has that speed as these tires start to wear down. But the 99 is definitely closing in, only 0.3 of a second. Lotus Lee trying to break that draft, doing everything he can to stay ahead of that 99. Ace Blade moves up to 23rd. Odion Muldoon in 20th. David Leathers in 22nd. Their biggest mover right now is Chris Andrews, even though he's 27. He's up 6 positions. Lotus Lee is keeping his distance from that 99. As they get through the chicane without any issues here. That's what you want to do. You want to not make too many mistakes. That 78 is all over that 343. Can he find an opening to make a pass? But no one has been able to pull away from each other. As we have 11 laps to the end of stage 1. And will traffic come into play, since no cautions will be thrown at the end of the stage? Because if it does, that's might create some havoc here. We've seen it in the past. These drivers are gonna have to probably deal with traffic eventually. Let's ride on board the 99 for a lap. That continues to keep Lotus close, does not let him pull away. Your top 5: Lotus Lee, Aaron Kozak, LaFrance, Reside, and Trunyan. Go a little further back in the field, and there's Killmonger Vasquez in 13. Ahead of him is the 46 of Sebastian. There's Tanner Martin in 16th. Tyler Commander in 30th. Not a great day for him so far. Last season's champion. He has just not been able to get it going as of late. And now Aaron Kozak is closing in on that 125. He is almost to the bumper. And right behind him is that 343. As we go around turn 6 and 7. You know, we are racing for stage points as well, as we have 7 laps to go to the end of stage 1. I would say another maybe 15 laps before we start seeing our first fuel pit stops here. Maybe drivers can stretch it to just have one stop in this race, or will we have 2? If we get a caution, that'll definitely change the strategies. But Lee cannot pull away from Kozak. See Trunnion there in 5th. He had a rough go on the start of the race, but has not lost any position since. But that top 10, there is no separation in that top 10. And there goes Trunnion. He takes a peek to the inside. It looked like he had a chance there. Now it's William Thompson right behind the 47. Thompson find an opening. And there's a group of cars back in the field here. 578.43. I think that's the 744. Eventually, the leaders are going to catch these drivers, and I think that might be causing some issues later on during the race. 4 laps to go to the end of the stage. Lotus Lee has led this race from the start. If somebody's going to gain some ground, it's going to have to be during the pit stop. As the top two seem to have pulled away from the third place car. Maybe LaFrance is starting to fade slightly. We are going on 15 laps into this run. There's Reeside in fourth. Trunnion in fifth. Behind him is Thompson and Forge. Last week's winner, Doug Britton, currently in 10th. Right behind him is Tazzy Blackwell, having her best run of the season, currently in 11th. She gets a little loose coming out that turn. Lotus Lee still in control. Lee is currently 11th in points. But he would love to get a win and lock himself into the playoffs. We'll have 1 lap to go in the stage next time around. Can Lee hold on and win this stage? That is a playoff point if he makes it into the playoffs. Playoff points are so important. It doesn't seem like it's a lot, but those points add up. And once you get into the playoffs, those points can make or break you. They go around the last turn. This is the last lap before the end of stage 1. And then Kozak in second, LaFrance still in third. Justin Reeside, fourth. Trunnion in fifth. The 99 gets loose. As drivers are starting to get a little more loose coming out the turns. We have had an incident-free race so far as they round that last turn. Lotus Lee wins stage 1. Aaron Kozak in second. LaFrance third. Reside fourth. Trunnion fifth. William Thompson in sixth. Stefan Ford seventh. Fangio eighth. Bill Cherry ninth. And Doug Britton rounds out your top 10. All those drivers will get stage points for stage one. Now, when will these drivers decide to come onto pit road? That will determine if we have one stop in this race or two. How long can they stretch the fuel for? Aaron Kozak once again closes that gap to the 125. But it seems like turns 1 and 2, Lotus Lee pulls away, but towards the back end of the course, the 99 makes up that ground. As they continue to creep closer and closer to traffic, it's still about 3 turns ahead of them. But eventually, they're going to have to deal with it. Let's go a little farther back in the field. There's Kyle Storm behind him. Tanner Parton, Dougie Zoom. Ani's there in 18th. Brogan. In 19th. Odeon in 20th. There's some good drivers towards the back of this field. They just cannot get it going today. Maybe they could make up some ground during the pit stops, though. That would probably be their best chance. Unless a caution comes out. Weezy in 26. Definitely some great drivers towards the end of the field. Tyler Commander, 32nd. He has lost 6 positions from the start of the race. So that car is struggling today to get it going. As we go back to your leader, Aaron Kozak with the fastest lap so far in the race. End of stage 2 is lap 40. Lotus Lee continues to keep it just a few car lengths, but that's as much of separation he could get on the 99. as we're already getting close to the halfway point of this race in about 8 laps or so. As they head into turn 6 and 7. And now you can see that that traffic is only like 1 or 2 turns away. The 578 just passed turn 1 and they just passed turn 7. So they're getting closer and closer to that 578. Lotus Lee tries to break that draft, heading into that chicane. Now there's cloud cover. The track is at 101 degrees. It's not a super slick track today, which is great. That's what drivers want to see. When will these drivers head on to pit road? I'm sure some of these drivers want tires. Now I have my graphic working that it wasn't working the last race. But there's the lap times for Lotus Lee. Shows his last 4 laps. And there you can see consistency in his laps. He lost some speed on lap 22. We'll see what type of lap time he puts together this time around. And he laid down a way better lap than lap 23 and 22. Now we look at Aaron Kozak. Lap 22 and 23 were not his best laps. Lost some speed, but made up for it in lap 24. Let's look at LaFrance. And he's been having consistent lap times except the last lap. He lost a little time, not much. They go around the last turn. And now that 578 is getting very close. They might catch him in another 2 laps here. And we have 15 laps for the end of stage 2. If it stays like this again in the top 10, these drivers are going to rack up stage points. And if Lotus Lee wins wire to wire, he'll lock himself in and gain some good playoff points. But we're starting to get very close on fuel. So in the next few laps, these drivers have to be coming in. So maybe they don't catch the 578 because they're going to have to pit. We will see. But it looks like Lotus Lee has created some separation from the 99. There's LaFrance in third. Justin Reeside still in fourth. Trunnion in fifth. Thompson, as Forge gets loose coming out the turn. Thompson in sixth. Great run for that number 10 in that Sloth Racing. Stefan Forge in seventh. Juan Fangio, 8th. Bill Cherry, 9th. And Doug Britton rounds out your top 10. But no one heads onto pit road yet. Who will be the first one onto pit road? And if they could stretch it a few more laps to maybe lap 32, then they'll make it to the end and it'll be a one-stop race. And you can see that traffic up ahead. It's already in the picture here. These drivers don't want to go onto pit road too early, because you'll be on fumes towards the end of this race, and you might have to make one more stop. And they stay out for another lap. They're getting closer and closer to the 578. You can see the 578 off in the distance. Around turn 5 into turn 6. Will they make a pit stop this time around? And they stay out on the track. This is probably going to be a one-stop race, as we're halfway through. Lotus Lee with a 0.6 of a second lead. When will Lotus Lee come in? I think these drivers towards the middle or the back part of the field might try to take a risk and come in sooner. There's that 578 up ahead. This is definitely going to be a one-stop race. But that one pit stop, you cannot make any mistakes. You have one shot at it. Now will Lotus Leaf have any issues getting by the 578 here? Because Aaron Kozak is right there. He's waiting for the opportunity. As they head into turn 7. Lotus Lee looks to the inside of the 578. This is his chance to make a clean pass. And he gets by the 578 without any issues. The 578 gets wide going into 1. So everyone is able to get by him without any problems. Now Justin Reside has to deal with the 578. You know, it depends where you hit this traffic at what part of the track. As they almost make contact there, the 47 gets a little loose. Thompson is going to have to get by him. Sometimes you just catch this traffic in a bad part of the track, and it's very hard to make a pass. As here comes some drivers onto pit road. And it looks like everyone's coming in. This pit stop is going to be huge. You cannot make a mistake on a pit stop. You have to be in and out. If not, you're going to lose a ton of positions. It's going to be a race off of pit road. Who is going to come out first? And the Lotus Lee comes out first. Trunyan still sitting on pit road, loses a ton of positions. Not a great stop for the 47. Let's go through your top 10. Lotus Lee came out first. Aaron Kozak in second. Amelia LaFrance in third. Justin Reside in fourth. William Thompson up another position in 10th. He is in the top 5. This is a great run for him. Stefan Forge in 6th. Trunyan in 7th after having a bad stop. Tazzy Blackwell with a good pit stop in 8th. Juan Fangio in 9th. And Sebastian rounds out your top 10. Then you have Bill Cherry 11th. Doug Britton 12th. Killmonger 13th. Raven 14th. And Tanner Partons 15th. Alville Cherry trying to make a pass here. Currently have one car on pit road. Two cars. There was a few cars that had 47-second pit stops. Everyone else averaged about 44, 45 seconds. But we have 6 laps to go to the end of stage 2. Will these lap cars come out ahead of your leader? And one of them does. So now Lotus Lee is going to have to deal with the 577 in the next few laps. We'll see on what part of the track do they catch that 570. He's almost to the bumper already. So he goes to the outside, gets loose, trying to make this pass. He gets by him now. Aaron Kozak makes the pass. But Lee lost a little time there. Now LaFrance has to get by this car as soon as possible. He does not want to lose the top 2. This is definitely holding him up right now. Now he's trying to bounce it to the outside. But he is struggling to get by this lap car. Arnold McGuire moves up to 18th. LaFrance needs to get by this car. He is losing a ton of ground to the top 2, and now he has to worry about Reside. Reside's on and trying to make the pass on the 343. Well, he couldn't make it happen. But LaFrance is struggling to get by this lapped car. And there's Thompson trying to make the pass on Reside. Thompson gets into 4th. What a move by the 10. And Reside gets stuck behind that lapped car. Drops down to 6. But Thompson making moves up to 4th, up 3 positions. He's been putting together a great race today. Lamine LaFrance, about 3 seconds back from the leaders, lost so much ground. And that's what traffic can do. As we head into turn 6 and 7. Two laps to go to the end of stage 2. Now the 125 is free and clear, but there is 2 cars up ahead, the 43, Rocco Stallone, and the 744. So eventually they're going to have to deal with those cars before the race ends, because we still have about 22 to go. Lotus Lee has led wire to wire, but can he hold on for about another 20 or so laps? It's not going to be easy when you have the 99 all over you. One more lap to go. Lee looking to win his second stage of the day. Next week we're heading to Atlanta, mile and a half. I know a lot of drivers are ready to get back on the oval. Road courses are very tough to win or do well at. So they go around these last two turns and we start to get cloud cover over the track. But Lotus Lee wins stage 2 and wins his second stage of the day. Aaron Kozak in second. Amelia LaFrance third. William Thompson fourth. Stefan Forge fifth. Justin Reeside sixth. Trunyan seventh. Tazzy Blackwell eighth. Juan Fangio ninth. And Bill Cherry rounds out your top 10. Those drivers will receive stage points. And now we have 20 laps to go in this one. Everyone can make it to the end. Unless they didn't top off all the way. That's the only way they don't make it to the end. And that has happened in the past. But it's a two-car race right now between Lotus Lee and Aaron Kozak. Amelia LaFrance is about 2 seconds back, so he has a little work cut out for him to make up some ground. And they're going to have to deal with Rocco Stallone and the 744 of Cool Cats. They will catch these cars before this race ends. Let's take a look at these lap times for Lee. His last few laps haven't been too great. He has lost some time. And towards the right of the delta time, there's the temperature. You can see how the temperature fluctuates on the track. You know, 110 degrees, 108, 106. So the track is cooling because of this cloud cover, which is going to affect how the car handles. And some cars are built to be good. When the temperatures rise and the track is slick, some drivers drive way better than on a cooler track, and some drivers drive better in a cool track. So a lot of those things factor in into how well a driver does. Let's take a look at the 99's lap times. His last lap was the best one out of the 4. We'll see what time he gets this time by. But he's pretty consistent at 1 minute 12 seconds. And that last lap was about 3/10 faster than the lap prior. And here is LaFrance's lap times. As you can see, lap 39, the temperature 110. Now it's 5 degrees lower. Well, Amelia LaFrance still 2 seconds back. And Kozak still with the fastest lap in the race. That was a very fast lap he laid down. But he's about 0.6 of a second back from the 125. And we still have 17 laps to go. It's been a quiet race as far as incidents or any wrecks go. It's been a very clean race. And there's 35 cars still on the lead lap. We saw in that first stint, though, Lotus Lee got faster the deeper we got into that run. So will he pull away from Kozak? But he's still going to have to deal with these lap cars coming up ahead. So that could cause some problems for the 125. We saw what happened to LaFrance a few laps ago. He lost a ton of time. Couldn't get by that traffic. There's Sebastian in 11. Doug Britton in 12. Killmonger in 13th. Behind him is Axel Raven, Tanner Parton, and Ani. Kyle Storm in 17th. Merle McGuire in 18th, up 7 positions from the start of the race. So considering where he started, he's put together a pretty good race. At least he's not going to lose a ton of points. And that's all you could ask for. There are no cautions being thrown at the end of the stage in a road course. Just like in real life, we're just going to run the race right through. But driver still gets points for the stages. Lotus Lee still in the lead. Kozak not too far behind. They go around the last turn. That 43 is getting closer and closer. $14 laps to go in this one. Kozak only 0.4 of a second back. Can Lee hold off Kozak? If Lee can get by these cars coming up here, that traffic that's coming up, without any issues, he should be fine. But he has 2 cars to deal with, not just one. I say they catch him in about the next 3 laps. There's LaFrance in 3rd. William Thompson in 4th. Stefan Forge, we're the top 5. Quietly having a good race. Justin Reside in 6th. Trunnion 7th. Tassie Blackwell 8th. Juan Fangio 9th. And Bill Cherry rounds out your top 10. But Lost City with 3 cars in the top 10. Make that 4 cars in the top 10. They're having a solid day here at the Glen. They brought some fast cars to the track. Lee goes around turn 5. And now you can see the 43 up ahead. And this is where things are going to get interesting. $11 laps to go. Can Lotus Lee lock himself into the playoffs, or will Aaron Kozak get his second win of the season? Lee cannot pull away from the 99. When will they catch the 43? What part of the course will they catch the 43? Aaron Kozak keeping it close. And That's what he has to do to give himself a chance here. He has closed that gap. He's waiting for a mistake by the 125. There's Rocco. What happens here when they pass these cars will probably determine the race. As we go around the last turn. Nine laps to go. Go around turn 4 and head to that chicane. Lotus Lee trying to break that draft. That 99 is all over the 125. 99 tries to look to the outside there, gets a little loose. He might lose a little ground. Maybe he got a little too aggressive there. And that 343 seems to be closing the gap and gaining some ground on the top two. He is not too far away. About a second. It was 2 seconds earlier, so he's definitely closing in to the top two. So we cannot count this car out as well. When will they try? When will they catch up to Rocco? If Lotus Lee gets him on a straightaway, that'll be his best bet. Probably won't cause too much issues. But if he doesn't, it's going to be tricky getting by the 43. And that could open up the door for the 99. Seven laps to go. We also have LaFrance lurking back there as well. And we're pretty deep into this run. It's going to be harder on worn tires to make these passes as well. They have almost caught up to the 43. What will Lotus Lee do here? He has to worry about this traffic and hold off the 99. And maybe hold off that 343 because he is right there. He has caught up to the top two. Get around, go around turn 1, and the 343, he is there. Lotus Lee would love if Aaron and LaFrance started battling for second. That would help him. But I think passing the 43 is not going to be as easy as it looks. It's almost to the bumper of Stallone. When will he attempt to make this pass? I think on that front stretch is going to be his best bet if he can get to him in time. Five laps to go at the Glen. Who will win? Lotus Lee, Kozak, or LaFrance? Lotus Lee dives to the inside in turn one and makes the pass without any issues. Aaron Kozak makes the pass in turn two. Now LaFrance, he had issues with traffic earlier. Can he get by Stallone? He lost a lot of time the last time. He can't make that same mistake twice. As the 43 gets loose there. LaFrance takes that opportunity and makes the pass. Four laps to go. And the 744 is up ahead. They're probably going to have to get by him before this race ends. Lotus Lee, 0.6 of a second over the 99. As the top three are separated by a few car lengths. Catch that 744 before the race ends. We only have 3 laps to go. I think the 125 hopes he don't catch him so he don't have to deal with that. See William Thompson. He's going to have to get by Stallone now. He's been having such a great run. He doesn't want to make a mistake here. You saw the 43 get loose, but the 10 goes right by in the outside. That 43 has been very loose the last few laps. Everyone gets by without incident. So we go around the last turn. 2 more laps to go. Can the 125 hold on for 2 more? And he's going to have to deal with that 744. This has to be a smooth pass. Lee has extended his lead to 0.8 of a second. But he cannot make a mistake here. He needs to get by this 744 without any issue. So all over the bumper. When will he make this pass? Go around turn 6 and 7. And he still can't get by. The white flag waves. Last lap of the race. He still is not passing the 744. The 99 is right there. This could be costly for the 125. Notice Lee having all types of problems with the 744 as we enter the chicane. Now the 343 is there. Go around turn 5. Aaron Kozak got a little wide going around the turn. Lotus Lee's gonna make the pass now. The 99 is right behind him, gets loose. Almost loses it there. Lotus Lee doing everything he can to hold off that 99. That 99 is driving the wheels off that car. We go around the last turn. Lotus Lee wins at Watkins Glen and seals a spot in the playoffs. Man, that was a great last lap there. The 99, I thought he was just going to lose complete control. He saved it somehow. But the 99 gave it all he had. Your top 10, Lotus Lee, the winner, locks himself into the playoffs. Aaron Kozak second, Amelia LaFrance third. William Thompson, my hat goes off to you in fourth. Great run. In fifth, Stefan Forge. Sixth, Justin Reside. Seventh, Trunnion. Eighth, Tazzy Blackwell. Ninth, Juan Fangio. And Bill Cherry rounds out your top 10. Things got hairy there at the end, but Lotus Lee, he's going to celebrate tonight. He's locked into the playoffs after having such a bad season. Last season, his season just didn't go his way after winning the championship. He didn't make the playoffs, but he bounces back this season and locks himself in early in week 4. So congrats to the 125 and the low fuel team. And congrats to Lost City. Man, 4 cars in the top 10. You couldn't ask for a better day as far as a team goes. Now, they've been having a great run this season as well. And next week we go to a 1.5 miles. We are at ATL Atlanta for 120 laps. And that's going to be week 5 already. So time is running out. We have 5 more races. So drivers that haven't made the playoffs have 5 more chances to lock themselves in by a win. After that, it's down to points. And you don't want to be sweating it the last week before the playoffs to try to get in by points. That's definitely not a fun time for those drivers that need to sneak in. So we'll see how it plays out. We have some tough tracks coming up. We got Atlanta, then we go to Bristol, then Pocono, then New Hampshire, and then we finish off at Auto Club before we start the playoffs. So we'll see how it goes in the next few weeks. But like always, thank you for supporting the league and supporting the stream. I will see you guys next time.